Back in 1987, an author by the name of Robert Fulghum wrote it was really the book of the year. It was kind of the talk of the town, called Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Now, this is my 200th and something episode of the Personal Age Fitness Podcast. I wouldn't be surprised if I've mentioned that book before, because it's true. Everything I really need to know I learned in kindergarten. Nowhere is that more true than in keeping your fitness New Year's resolution. With the new year coming up, believe it or not, it all boils down to one word. That one word that helps you maintain your New Year's fitness resolutions today on the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast.
Welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast with Garrett Williamson. Health, wellness, exercise, nutrition, and a whole lot more. Got questions? Call us and leave a message at 251-278-EDGE or message us at Personal Edge Fitness on Facebook and Instagram, at Team PE on Twitter, or personaledgefitness.com.
Hey, good day and welcome to the Personal Age Fitness Podcast. My name is Garrett Williamson. I'm president of Personal Age Fitness. Thank you so much for joining us today and talking about the one word that means success in your New Year's fitness resolutions. And with the new year upon us, I wanted to do a podcast on this because it's so incredibly important. I know it's top of mind or about to be top of mind for everybody. So I thought we would address it. Before I get into it, I want to tell you how to get in touch with us. We just got finished with this segment, the 4 or 5 part segment that we did on various exercises for athletes. Had a lot of good questions from that, and as always, some of the best ideas we get for podcasts actually come from our questions that receive either people calling in or submitting them here at the facility or emailing us. I want to tell you how to do that. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can give me a call at area code 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE. You can also reach out to me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. That, of course, is our website, personaledgefitness.com, and Personal Edge Fitness is our Facebook page. Hit me up on X at Team PE if you are so inclined to reach out that way. But we'd love to hear from you if you have any questions about this podcast, any others, or, as always, you have questions dealing with any of the discrepancies or the myths associated with health, fitness, or wellness, or nutrition. We'd love to speak to you about that. Now, Robert Fulghum's book, I'm not sure how many of you have got a chance to read it. It's still applicable today, probably be applicable forever. And he maintained that everything that you really needed to know, you learned in kindergarten. And he had couple other books. He may have had more than that, but I know he had one called Uh-Oh, which is actually quite good. And there was another one. It was On Fire When I Lay Down on It was the other one of his books. But that simple concept that he was preaching about in his first book, Everything I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. There's a very simple concept that we learned at a very early age, and it is the key not only to just fitness in general, but it's the key to maintaining your fitness resolutions, New Year's resolutions. Now, I'm not sure how many exercise physiologists I'm speaking to right now. As a matter of fact, I should ask, if you're an exercise physiologist, please raise your hand. Well, I know, I hope maybe somebody fell for that. I'm not sure, but it doesn't take an exercise physiologist to know what's going to happen in most of your big box gyms come first week of January. No matter what facility is, whether it's a hospital-based facility or a public facility, or it doesn't matter. You know what's going to happen. The first week, it's going to be slammed. First couple of weeks will be just slammed, just all kinds of people in there. And they're basically addressing the number 2 most popular New Year's resolution. Number 1, of course, being getting organized. And number 2 is getting in shape. And that's why you see these gyms that are just packed to the gills in the first week of January. A lot of fitness facilities during December are running advertisements, and they know this is going to happen. They're well aware of this phenomenon. Back when they were doing more 2-year contracts, they were doing major discounts to try to get people locked into that 2-year contract. Strike when the iron's hot, when everybody's all excited. But you also know, whether you're an exercise physiologist or not, what it's going to look like come March. They're going to be back down to 25, maybe 30% engagement of the people that are actually members of the facility actually using it. And in most of these fitness facilities, that is in their business plan. They're well aware of that. And by the way, just to be clear, y'all know I don't own a big box facility. I'm a personal training facility with a personal training business. Have nothing against those facilities whatsoever or that business plan. I understand it makes perfect sense. And we have some, and especially in our town, we're blessed with some really good fitness facilities here in Mobile, both hospital-based and also private facilities. But that phenomenon is going to occur. It's going to occur nationwide, worldwide for that matter. Why? Why does that happen? We see this not only in public realm or the private realm, the individuals, but also in the corporate realm and corporate wellness. Typical corporate wellness programs you'll have a big start at the beginning, and then you're down to maybe 25 to 33% engagement. Unless you're working with us or you're working with Corporate Edge Wellness and their corporate wellness program. And why? What's the difference? Why do we have such a high engagement? What keeps you engaged? What keeps you carrying through with your New Year's resolution? And I said it boiled down to one word, and that's true. And that one word is accountability. Now, stay with me. You may think you know everything when I say accountability, but let me break this down. You've heard me say my elevator speech many times, and that that we are a one-on-one and two-on-one personal training facility. We do anything in fitness and sport that's not illegal, immoral, or fattening. We have taught 3 people to walk again. We've got 23 scholarships to our name, pretty much everything in between. 72% of the people come to us for weight loss, 2 facilities. I can go on and on and on. We do corporate wellness. We do online wellness. We do in-home. And I also go through the numbers that we see. We see around 360 sessions a week, and we have an average tenure of a client of 5.6 years. That's unheard of in the industry. The average tenure of personal training clients typically 18 months to 2 years. Why? Well, it's because of the number one thing that we sell. Yes, we have the most qualified staff in the Southeast, but what is the number one thing we sell? Accountability. What is our corporate wellness program that we do in conjunction with Corporate Edge Wellness associated with? Coaching accountability. Accountability is why people continue to come. Accountability is why they continue to have success. Accountability is why you will be either successful or unsuccessful in maintaining your New Year's resolution. What's at the core of accountability? Well, first thing, I just had a gentleman in my office 20 minutes ago. He said it flat out. Don't have the motivation. The reason I'm here is because I don't have the motivation. Bingo. Number one, as far as accountability, motivation boost. Accountability provides a consistent source of motivation. When you know that someone, and you're not going to be accountable to a piece of equipment, you're going to be accountable to some human, a group of humans. In a class situation, it's a group of people. In our facility, it's our culture. It's all of our trainers. But when you know that someone is monitoring your progress, or that you have a commitment to meet somebody, you're more likely to stay on track. Now, this has actually been proven. A study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that people who shared their goals with others were motivated to achieve them compared to those who kept their goals private. This is why you hear a lot of motivational speakers talk about if you want to make a change, to actually tell somebody, promote your goals, put them on Facebook, put them on social media, hang them up where other people can see them. You're going to be more accountable. And why? Because it provides a major motivation boost. Another thing we have, that's another part of accountability, is consistency and discipline. Now, we have that, of course, in our scheduling, also on the fact that our client coordinators track all the clients they're responsible for, whether they trained them that day or not, and follow up with them if we miss, or follow up with Erica and have them contact them to find out if they're missing, if they're coming in, or what have you. The consistency and discipline is a major part of accountability. When you have a set schedule or appointments with a class, with a personal trainer, it becomes more challenging to skip workouts or make excuses, mainly because we don't like to let others down. Not just letting ourselves down, but don't like to let others down. I remember working out years ago and there was like 4 or 5 of us that got together and met and worked out. We actually met in the gym and got to talking one day, and we started meeting to work out. And that was some of the most consistent time that I worked out. In fact, the most consistent time immediately following college, because I was running track. So I had my accountability was my coach. My accountability was the team. My accountability was the scheduled workout times. My accountability was also, my scholarship. But once I didn't have that anymore, I had nobody to be accountable to. So I didn't really pick up my fitness routine or really get going again with my fitness routine until I found this group of people. But it was hard. We would razz each other if we didn't show up. Well, it's the same thing you have when you have a class situation or when you have a personal training situation. Consistency and discipline is a large part of accountability. Another part of it, believe it or not, if you're accountable, then most likely you're doing some kind of goal setting and tracking. That is true accountability. Don't just, I'm just going to go work out and that's it. I'm going to have no goals or whatever. No, you're going to set goals and you're actually going to track them. What you measure matters. If you run a business, you know what I'm talking about. You've probably got goal sheets or you've got, KPIs, and you're tracking those. Everything that you track in your business, everything that you track in your home, if you track your budget, it's going to be affected. It's going to matter. It's going to change. And fitness is no different. A large part of accountability, again, like I say, is goal setting and tracking, setting specific, you've heard me say this before, I did a podcast on it, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART, setting SMART goals. Let me run this by you again. Setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Setting those kind of goals is essential for progress, and it's a large part of accountability. Specific, don't just say, I want to lose some weight. Set a number. How much weight are you going to lose? How much? What percentage of body fat are you going to go for? And don't just grab a number out of the air. have some details behind that number. Measurable. How are you going to measure it? You measure it with a scale. I'm going to measure it with a Navita scale that's actually going to track my body fat. Same thing we do in our corporate program. Achievable. It's amazing how many people have come in with this huge goal. There's nothing wrong with a large goal, but trying to put a large goal and say, I'm going to have that happen in a month or two, it's not going to stick. Having that large goal, spreading it out into achievable steps. Break it down from a large goal to a monthly goal to a weekly goal to a daily goal. What am I going to do every single day in order to reach that goal? That's achievable. Relevant. I'm out of shape, but I happen to be real low in body fat, and my weight, quote unquote, is fantastic. I'm going to lose a bunch of weight. No, that's not relevant to what you need. It's not relevant to actually adding to your health. So picking something that's relevant. And the biggest problem, that may sound crazy. Of course, everything's going to be relevant. Now, you'd be amazed at how many people I've talked to that got into a fitness program strictly because their friend was doing it and enjoyed it and had success with it, but their goals were completely different. That's why we have an individualized approach here. We have an individualized approach with our personal training. We have an individualized approach with our corporate training. The only thing we do in a group setting is our dynamic stretching classes, but that's not the 100%. Nobody's here just for dynamic stretching. It's just something we add to their program. Everybody's goals are different. Everybody works out different. What makes sense to their head is completely different. And like I say, that's how we approach. We have as many different programs as we do people, not only in our personal training, but also in the corporate program that we do with Corporate Edge Wellness. It is an individual approach. So that's how we make it relevant. And time bound. I love this quote that a goal without a timeline is a dream. That is so true. I'm going to make this happen. When? If you have all the time to do it, you'll never do it. So setting that time, putting a timeline on it, being able to tick those days off, that time to reaching that goal is going to help you stay with your goal tracking. It's going to help you get to your goal. So SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Several studies have been done on this. One of them was done by the American Journal of Preventive Medicine, found that goal setting and tracking were effective strategies for improving physical activity levels. So accountability, breaking it down. There's your motivation. There's your consistency and your discipline. There's your goal setting and tracking. And the last part of it, and this is a huge part, the folks that I say that, I'm not affected by that, are the ones that are affected by it the most, I guarantee you, and that's social support. We are social individuals. No man is an island. We were not built to be that way. And so having that social support, having that group of individuals, or that one individual with you, there's a big part of it. Accountability often involves a social component. In fact, most every time it involves a social component, such as partnering with a workout buddy. That's one way of doing it. Like I said earlier about the group that I used to work with. Working with a personal trainer, quite obviously. In a class situation, there's a social aspect to it. The number one reason why people come to see us, yes, it's our expertise, but it's also our culture. They love being a part of our culture. There's a social aspect to that. It makes them feel better about being themselves, which is, it's our mission statement. So part of that accountability is that social support. Now, I told you at the beginning of this that the success of your New Year's resolution falls on one word. And you pretty well learned all these aspects in kindergarten. It's simply accountability. And we can help you with that. If you're interested in learning more about this topic, or if you want to learn more about how you can be accountable and how you can reach your fitness goals for the New Year's, give us a call. Give me a call at area code 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE. You can also reach out to me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. That's our website and our Facebook page. Hit me up on X or Twitter at Team PE. Love to help you with your program. Love to be able to pass your name on if you have a company interested in a corporate wellness program to Corporate Edge Wellness. We'd love to work with you in that way. We approach it the exact same way. It's an individualized program. The biggest part of that is, of course, the accountability we sell, because the accountability is, not only is it the only way to be successful. Without accountability, you're not going to be. But accountability is just one more way we help you reach your level of wellness. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to talking to you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast with Garrett Williamson. Subscribe now and be a part of the show by calling 251-278-EDGE or message us on Facebook and Instagram at Personal Edge Fitness or at Team PE on Twitter, and visit us at personaledgefitness.com.